in my outdoor, plainly see right there. It's a little bit windier, so I hope you will be able to hear me okay. Going without any special microphone or anything. I'm here to talk about the younger, older Bob theory, and I guess this is something I haven't talked about before. So, but I'm just here to hang out with you all at the same time and chat. For anyone who has questions, or if you have any prayer requests that myself and the others can pray for you, I'm always open to that and love to use this platform as an opportunity to pray for each other. So, okay, here's where I'm at with the younger Bob versus older Bob theory. Older theory meaning he's 80 right now, right? And we think he's Elvis, which I fall into that category. So basically you have the biggest group of supporters who have been here commenting, who believe that Bob is Elvis and that makes him 80 years old. And there's plenty of other reasons why we believe that. But then you have a smaller group within that circle of people who think that he could be a son of Bob / EP, or he could be one of, I guess, many brothers or twins of EP. So first of all, let me knock out the twin, or is it even twin? Let me knock out the brother category for a second. The reason I haven't subscribed to that theory at all, hey, subscribe if you haven't, is because I just haven't seen the evidence online to support that, right? We want to be logical and not just emotional, thinking, believing whatever we see. And we do share some different theories on this channel, if you haven't noticed, if you've been watching for a while, because it's not just about sharing everything being 100% true, because it's not going to be. And I know that. You should know that by now, that not everything you see on the internet is 100% accurate. The reason why we share some different theories, even some outlandish stuff sometimes, is one, to keep you all practicing your discernment on things like this, and two, to test your theory, whatever you believe in, whatever I believe in, to challenge our biases. And I'm sure there's more than that, but there's two good reasons right there. Okay, as far as the multiple or a brother of Elvis theory, why I don't subscribe to that is because, okay, you could say at this point, they were hiding, or Elvis was really anybody, right, when he was still young. Like, how do you, I don't know, how do you make sense of that? Because it just doesn't make sense to me. So there's just kind of that logical side of why I don't think he had any mystery, missing, hiding brothers out there. But then also from the musician's point of view, like I've said many times, how did he get the skills as a performer, as a speaker, as a piano player, vocalist, guitar player, just all around awesome musician, right? And pastor. Well, okay, I guess he's been doing that either way for 30 years, or whatever it's been. But how do you make sense of the musician side? Because I know as a musician, I've been a musician my whole life. I've worked with literally thousands of musicians in the Marine Corps as a piano player and a band leader internationally. And I know that it takes decades to hone those skills. Even for somebody who's very talented, to kind of bring it all together and do, really what Pastor Bob is still doing today as an older man, which is impressive also to do week after week. You don't just get those skills by hiding in a basement your whole life until you're whatever, 50, 60, whatever you believe in the age. Okay, so That, as far as the mystery brother theory, that's why I knocked that one out of the water. I mean, up to this point, I have no reason to believe that's a possibility. Um, and really, that's the same goes for any sort of relative of EP. It just doesn't make sense to me. Who do we got here? Phyllis, hello. Brenda, hello. So, okay, Phyllis, you think he's a son or he is Elvis? Okay. Yeah, and there's lots of you that are open to possibilities. I try to stay open, even though I feel like 99% sure that he's Elvis. There's just too many coincidences and things that we've seen, the musical side, the physical appearances and scars, and the whole Mar-a-Lago, George Magazine, Trump things, and where did he come from? How come this is happening to Pastor Bob, right? If he's just a small pastor. So it's just all these coincidences that have kept me pretty comfortable in that category. But if you're staying open to possibilities, I think that's good. That's why I always say 99% sure, because that's just the crazy world that we live in. Brenda, yes, Elvis would be 90 now, correct. His birthday is early January something. I don't remember that part, but hey, Miss Constitutional Rights, good to see you. I'm doing good. It's good to be outside with Cassie once again, and she's loving it too, because I wasn't really spending much time outside with her this year, pretty much. But I'm recovering, feeling good, glad to be here with you all. He is Elvis. Yeah, so you feel strongly about it. You're definitely in the 99 or 100% column. Post on his X account things that say the truth about him being Elvis. I'm not so sure he's... Okay, you're saying he's on X. I don't know what account that is, but I haven't seen anything official looking that would indicate to me that he's on X. You can share that with us, anything that you find in the comments later too, after this post. That would be best. But okay, he's under Pastor Bob Joyce, because officially, the last I checked, Pastor Bob Joyce, according to the website, said that he's only on, Facebook, YouTube, and their own website, bobjoyce.org. And I just checked again like a week ago, so unless something changed, it could easily be a imposter, Pastor Bob Joyce. He has the blue check mark. That's interesting. I will check that out for sure. Sorry if it's a little noisy. I try to talk louder when I need to. But yeah, last I checked on the website, maybe they didn't update it to add X on there. I'm not sure. But the blue check mark should mean something. It should mean it's accurate. But I'll have to check that out. And that would be news to me if he's officially on X now. Because I think that's a good platform now too to also use, even though I haven't. Okay, where was I? I was talking about the brother theory, and then, okay, let's talk about the younger Bob theory, which, okay, people say that, okay, how could he be 80 years old, right? He doesn't look that old, and that whole argument. Well, I would say the same thing in verse about, I don't think he looks that young to be a son of Elvis. Yeah, I guess it's a son that we're talking about. Well, take that back. Some people think it's a brother, but okay. So already shots like he could be young enough. So I'm saying the opposite. When you look at his his body. When everybody sees him in person, they say he looks like he could be 80. So that on the younger side is, again, I haven't seen enough proof to believe that side of it. And then when you watch his, or the 1990 album is the big one that I always mention that sticks in my mind, where he was supposedly, according to the official narrative, 38 years old. Is it 38? Yeah, I think 38. But he already had a gray hair and gray beard fully. And it was supposedly 1990 album. So that just makes no sense. Just in the face, too. He looks older. You've just been seeing him on X the past 2 weeks. That is interesting. Thanks for telling us. So other than that, I'm still working on the book, which I'm not sharing the title yet. It's not just going to be a listing of why I believe Pastor Bob is Elvis. It's not going to be that simple-minded. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but there's going to be a purpose behind the book, and I still don't have a date when it's going to be released, but it's going to talk about Pastor Bob and Elvis, and then it's going to tie some things together, and then it's going to have a more bigger picture to this whole topic. And so I'll obviously keep you posted. I'll definitely do a live and some videos when the book is released, first on Amazon Kindle for sure, but I plan on it being available on paperback as well. And yes, there's going to be a bigger purpose behind the book. I like having sort of this topic about Pastor Bob and Elvis to, just talk about how our relationship with God should be amidst all these things. And Pastor Bob has become one of my favorite pastors over the last couple of years because his messages are current and often really hits home, I think, even to some of the political things, without actually kind of doing it the same direct way that very few pastors do. There isn't too many of them who really dive into politics. Wish there was more. But I love the way he preaches and shares the gospel and sort of covers these current times, which is why he's such a good match with George Magazine as well, but I think there's planning there why that's happening. And George Magazine is doing the same thing, where they're continuing the trend of JFK Jr. and George Magazine, but really, if you want to say adding into the equation, the sharing of the gospel and our beliefs, what we believe in, what we stand for as Christians, and sort of tying it all together with what can I say? I don't want to say celebrity stuff, but societal, celebrity stuff, government, everything. That's what George Magazine is really aiming to do. So obviously, Pastor Bob couldn't be the more perfect candidate to be the lead pastor for this movement. Elvis the trickster, Bob is better. Yeah, I agree with the Bob is better than Elvis statement. I always say that I think I'm a good candidate to kind of share videos and talk about the theories and possibilities about Elvis, because I was never really a big fan of Elvis. I appreciated his music, his singing, his skills, but I was never really drawn to follow him. So I really didn't follow Elvis until the last couple of years, once I learned about Pastor Bob and started following him. So Pastor Bob came first for me, and then I sort of learned everything in reverse. Hey Dave, welcome. Sue, welcome. Good to see you all. Bert, good to see you too. God bless you guys. Strength is getting better. I'm feeling a lot better. For those who don't know, January 7th, I got the diagnosis, second time, of testicular cancer. The first time was really a walk in the park, 17 years ago, compared to this year. This year has been very tough, a battle all the way, praying every day, so many tough decisions. I decided to go ahead through 2.5 months on and off of chemo, finished that, and there were just so many tough decisions in there because, I've been preaching about God's natural medicines and healing and foods and God's everything the last 3 years now. So the first thing I learned early this year going through that experience was that I couldn't just, preach one way, like everybody should do what I believe, right? Because I learned firsthand that sometimes we're dealt with some tough decisions in life. And same thing going back to 2000. I bring up that year and the things and everything. And I feel like I was pretty open-minded for everybody's situations back then. But this year, on the cancer topic, once again, I realized that we need to stay humble, we need to stay open-minded and loving and graceful to our neighbors. And, anytime we debate or argue about different topics, because sometimes people are going through a list of things and decisions, and it's not what we're going through. So that was one of the first things I learned in this experience was, oh man, I was talking about how I was, trying to eat all this healthy, natural stuff, and I was doing good, and it made a huge difference in, I think, my ability to recover from the chemo as well. But I would have never thought I would do chemo, right? Because all the possible side effects, and I didn't want to do it. And I almost stopped halfway through too, because I was just like, man, I'm done with this stuff. I don't know what this is going to do to me. But yeah, long story short, because of the situation that I was in and there were several things going on that were kind of emergency issues. And so I decided to go ahead and do it and sort of take the chance. And so I relied on all of your prayers, and they were effective because I'm doing better and still recovering, still trying to get through all this, but things have been going very well. And so I do believe in the power of prayer and do believe that it made all the difference. So thank you guys. I don't think I have too much more to talk about, but it's good to see you all. And I'm kind of going back and forth with the live stream Bob EP, if you've seen that, where it's just a collection of a whole bunch of videos of mostly Pastor Bob playing and singing or talking, preaching, because that has something to do with the algorithm on YouTube. Otherwise, I would just let it play 24/7. But it's been, I guess, more effective to just do it on and off. So for those of you wondering, why did it stop? Then you kind of know why now. So thank you all for checking in, watching. And yeah, we're not going anywhere. So you can see. But it is a nice day here in Southern California. It's not so nice and peaceful everywhere, such as LA, that's for sure. But we're hoping things will get settled down soon and people will get taken care of. You know what I'm talking about. But it's very nice here. It's probably low 70s. It's cloudy, but I'm enjoying it. So, okay, thank you. I'm gonna wrap it up. I will see you again soon with more updates about the book. I came out with a couple books recently. If you're interested in a worship leader guide or the art of leading bands, because I was a Marine Corps musician, piano player, drummer, and band leader for 15 years, retired about 10 years ago. So like I said at the beginning of this video, I've had many experiences working with thousands of musicians and leading bands, and for a long time I wanted to sort of make a nice, easy guide, a couple guides or books rather, for those who want to just know how to put a band together basically and lead them effectively. So you will see links for both those books in the description below. If not now, that'll be in there shortly. And the other videos on this channel. And make sure you're watching The Voice Lives On, which is the newest channel we just started. The Voice Lives On. Yeah. So you should also be able to find links for that easily too. And then my original music channel, Matt Savina Music. Easy to remember. Just add music to the end. Matt Savina Music. And The Voice Lives On. So thank you all. I'll update you on the book as soon as I can. The new book about Bob and Elvis. And it's going to be good. It's not going to be too long, but it's going to be long enough that, and it's going to cover enough that if you want to have some kind of reference in front of you to share with others about, you know, why you also think that Bob is Elvis and there's something interesting going on there, then this book is going to give you, I think, all the ammo that you need to share with others. So, all right, I'll wrap it up there. So from me and Cassie in Southern Cal, thanks and God bless. See you soon.